Ho 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 and happy holidays, everybody. If you're like me, you're a big horror fan. And so, of course, you gotta check out the Christmas horror lists that are going around to see what Christmas horror movies there are to watch. What are some good ones for this holiday season? I too looked at them and I saw a little movie called Better Watch Out. It seemed very interesting. I read, the little synopsis and such, and I was pretty intrigued. But then I watched it, and well, let's talk about it. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you know that I'm a big advocate of, the hating on movies type genre of YouTube video is dead. I'm not here to spread hate. I'm not here to make fun of or ruin anyone's career. I don't want to give hate towards the director, writer, any of the actors, anyone in this movie. I'm just here to talk about this movie, say what some of its flaws I think are, and so whoever's watching this can really learn what makes a good Christmas horror movie. And maybe any, writers, directors out there watching can use this information and go on and make some better ones. So Better Watch Out released in 2016, and let me read you the log line real quick. This is what it says on IMDb. On a quiet suburban street, a babysitter must defend a 12-year-old boy from intruders, only to discover it's far from a normal invasion. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know that's far from a normal synopsis of the movie, because that's absolutely what it's not about. And even the trailers and marketing for this movie is wildly off from what it actually is. And I get it. Any movie with a twist, it has to be like that way. You can't give away the big twist in the trailers or the synopsis, but at the same time, you can't be selling a movie that's not there. The trailer gives away that there's a babysitter, Ashley, a little boy named Garrett, and his friend named Luke. Hey there, it's me. By the end of me recording this, I realized that I called the characters the wrong names. Garrett is actually Luke, and Luke is actually Garrett. If you've never seen this movie before, I don't think that has any bearing of you understanding this video, but just for accuracy's sake, I'd like to make that correction. And there's a home invasion and they gotta defend themselves, sort of Home Alone style. There's a direct reference to Home Alone in the movie that they include in the trailer as well. And that's not what this movie's about. They kind of insinuate in the trailer that it's Ashley's ex-boyfriends coming to kill them, which isn't really the case. Now, of course, I can't really continue to talk about this movie without getting into spoilers, so I'm about to right now. If you genuinely want to go into this movie blind, go ahead and stop watching here, watch the movie, and come back. But in my opinion, maybe you can give this movie a pass on your holiday watch list, but that's just me, so here we go. I'm going to keep talking about it. Basically, the big twist is that Garrett and Luke are together. This is at the beginning of the movie. They're reading a little article about how to get a girl to like you, because Garrett has a crush on his babysitter, Ashley. And one of the tips the article says is to watch a horror movie, because when you're scared, you release the same pheromones or whatever that you feel when you're attracted to someone, because of that heightened emotional state that you're in. So the big twist is that Luke leaves to go home and it's just Garrett and Ashley together, and then there's the break-in, and then this, they think this person is out to kill them, when in actuality the person who broke in was Luke, and they staged this whole thing together to make Ashley scared, and then so Garrett can kiss Ashley and the two of them can be together. But this doesn't work because Ashley rejects the kiss and is like, ew, you're 12, I'm 16, this isn't gonna work, chill. So once Ashley expresses that she is not romantically or sexually interested in Garrett, a 12-year-old boy, Garrett does not like this, and he loses all control, and then he basically knocks out Ashley, ties her up, and boom, that's what the majority of the movie is. Just Garrett trying to get back, get revenge, do whatever to Ashley. And this is one of the main glaring problems of the movie, is that Garrett, we don't know what Garrett's goal is, because it seems to me like his goal is to kiss her or do something possibly even more sexual with her. But then he has her tied up, so he could, but he just never does. There is one scene where Garrett, Luke, and Ashley all play truth or dare while Ashley is tied up, and Luke dares Garrett to touch Ashley inappropriately, and Garrett does that. So our straight up main character, the guy who's been set up as our protagonist, the guy we're supposed to root for and like, is now just committing SA right in front of us. At that point, he just loses all redeemability for pretty much most people who are watching, because in the beginning Garrett is set out to be like this sweet sort of innocent boy, but he doesn't want Ashley to see him as innocent, so he tries to like drink wine or whatever, and that's cute and stuff. It's cute, you know, it's a normal experience for like a little boy to have a crush on their, you know, teenage girl babysitter, but obviously like in real life nothing should ever be acted upon in that. But we are set up to think, oh, what a cute boy. I hope, you know, he's nice. I'm rooting for him in this story. But then he just loses every piece of credibility he's built up to that point. And so everything about his character that's been written up to that point is just basically thrown out the window. And the writer kind of has to start over with his character, which really sucks. I guess you could say Garrett's other objective is to kill Ashley's boyfriend and ex-boyfriend because he's jealous of them because they got to have sex with Ashley. And throughout this, there's really just not much character growth or realization or basically anything, because it's just this little 12-year-old boy committing murder, and that's about it. I mean, it's telegraphed from early on that Luke is going to have a change of heart and then be on Ashley's side and help Ashley escape. But that, of course, can't come until the third act. So Luke's just basically sitting there in his uncertainty, like, I don't know if we should do this. I do think the most clever thing about the writing is the way that they're able to make Garrett kind of get away with everything at the end. Especially, I liked the part with Ashley's ex-boyfriend, Jeremy, who basically Garrett tricks him into writing a suicide note and then killing him, and so it looks like he committed suicide, which, you know, I think that's interesting. That was a cool idea that was executed pretty well. And then all the other things, you know, they hide the dead bodies, they do the Home Alone paint can with the current boyfriend, because that's like the joke of like, oh, would the paint can to the face really kill somebody? And then in this movie, yes, it does. And by the end, Garrett basically just kills everyone, making him like the most unlikable person ever. He kills the ex-boyfriend, he kills the current boyfriend, he kills Ashley, and then I believe he also kills Luke because, you know, he can't have any witnesses or whatever. And so basically then he just crawls back up in bed and goes to sleep. And so when his parents come home, they do think that there was an intruder because Luke staged everything as if there wasn't an intruder. And then the intruder just killed everybody while Garrett is safe asleep in his bed. But the last final twist is that Ashley isn't dead. And then as she's getting wheeled away to the ambulance, she flips off Garrett, being like, I'm still alive and I know what you did. I'm going to testify against you, whatever. So that's the happy ending, I guess, because Garrett is so unlikable. You know, he has to be taken down. But if that's your ending, why isn't Ashley the main character? I think it would have been so much more investing if we started with Ashley, we follow Ashley throughout this whole thing about babysitting this little kid. The twist comes to where, oh, the kid I'm babysitting has a crush on me. No, that's inappropriate. I have to respectfully decline him and explain to him why it won't work. But then this whole break-in gets staged. Uh-oh, the kid I'm babysitting actually constructed this whole break-in because he's trying to get with me. That's weird. Uh-oh, now I'm tied up. I'm the victim. I'm the one that the audience is rooting for gets out of the situation instead of the audience following this maniac little kid. So I do wish that the entire story was basically just told through Ashley's perspective, because it just makes so much more sense that way in order for us to root for that protagonist to win at the end. And then her death is actually a good fake out because it's like, oh, the protagonist just died. But to be revealed, oh, she's actually still alive because she did a clever thing in order to save herself. She used something to stop the bleeding. I forget. But yeah, she did a smart thing that was a payoff of something that was established and then lived. So yeah, I would like that girl to be our protagonist. A movie that I think does everything better than this in the same sort of comedic horror way is The Babysitter. And spoilers for The Babysitter right now if you've never seen it. But basically, The Babysitter is the exact same story except flipped, to where the babysitter is trying to kill the little kid, and the little kid has to sort of Home Alone hijinks his way into killing the babysitter. That's story is done so much better, and I get it. Like, it's very hard to pull off a twist of, oh, this really nice person is actually a really evil person, and now they're trying to kill you. And yeah, when it's first revealed, it can be a little whiplash, a little jarring, but as the movie progresses, you really get into it. You really understand why, this person is evil, and all the other people trying to kill this little kid are evil, and you're buying into it. But in Better Watch Out, you never fully, get past that whiplash you feel of this little 12-year-old boy just being the most villainous person you've ever seen. Because in The Babysitter, we are in the victim's shoes, and we are figuring out the twist the same time he is, that, this person that I trusted is actually very, very evil and is turning on me. But in Better Watch Out, we're in the shoes of the villain, and he knows he's the villain, but we as the audience don't yet. So by the time he switches, it's like, what? What's going on? And it would have been much better if we were in the shoes of Ashley, seeing that twist, and we're learning it at the same time she is. In conclusion, what I think Better Watch Out lacks is just a consistency of tone, because in the trailer it describes itself as a horror comedy Christmas movie, but really it really has nothing to do with Christmas except for the fact that it takes place during Christmas. There's no Christmas themes or anything. And I get it. It would have been much better if there were Christmas items used to kill people or do whatever. But really, this whole movie is just going on in a house that is decorated for Christmas, and that's about it. I think she gets tied up at I think Ashley gets tied up with Christmas lights at one point. But yeah, that's about it. There's absolutely no reason for this to be a Christmas movie. There's really no reason for this movie to be set during Christmas, and therefore the Christmas things is just sort of a distraction from what's actually going on. A little boy who has a crush on his babysitter and will do anything to extreme lengths to get with her is a great premise for a dark comedy, but I don't think it's really executed to its potential here, as the main character is really written in the most diabolical, despicable way, and not in a likable way, because there are certainly villains, especially in superhero movies, that commit egregious crimes, but people still sympathize and feel with them because, they have that full character motivation on why they're doing this. They think what they're doing is right, and it'll help other people at the end of the day. But with this kid, it's just no, he just wants to basically R-word this girl and commit murder against her ex-boyfriend and current boyfriend. And that in no way is redeemable or likable and a cause that anybody could get behind. As for the horror elements, yeah, some of the deaths are cool. It's got cool gore and whatnot, but I think if they wanted it to be a comedy, they can just pump up the comedy to an extreme, make it a lot funnier, just make the world super crazy and unbelievable. If they wanted to make it a horror, I think it could have been a lot gorier, really, embrace that R rating, because it if you've seen my Unfriended video, you know my problem with R-rated horror movies that don't show gore. There's absolutely no reason why you can't show gore. You already have that R-rated rating. So for the Home Alone paint bucket thing, that's actually not shown on camera. But if they actually did it and showed the paint bucket hitting the face and head exploding, that would have been awesome. But they don't show it. It just cuts away to the little boy getting blood sprayed on his face. So yeah, those are my critiques with the movie Better Watch Out. I personally think that if you're thinking about watching this movie this holiday season, maybe you could skip it and watch something else instead. My recommendations are Black Christmas. I just saw Violent Night last night. I think that was fun. Certainly could have lived up to its potential a little more, but certainly a lot better, in my opinion, than Better Watch Out. Another Christmas horror movie, Anna and the Apocalypse, great as well. I might be talking about that one soon, too, so watch it and be prepared for the next video. But if whatever I said interests you in watching this movie, I think that's great. Go ahead, watch the movie, and let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Subscribe for more holiday content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.